Waiting for people to trickle in.
Hi everyone. I'm just gonna wait a little bit.
Hello. Hi everyone tuning in today. Thanks for coming. Oh, I see all the hearts. Thanks for the hearts. Like 2 minutes or something.
I'm just gonna wait maybe like another minute just to make sure everyone gets here. Thank you for all the hearts.
Oh, I see more hearts coming in.
Hi everyone.
Alright, it's 10:32. I guess we'll wait a couple more seconds and then we'll start very shortly. Alright, thanks everyone for tuning in today. Welcome to our Marine Lab Deep Dive. I'm Joycelyn.
Diana.
And we are both Marine Lab research assistants here at Point Blue Conservation Science. Today we're tuning in from Point Blue's headquarters in Petaluma, California, and we are excited for everyone here to join us today as we talk about today's mini deep dive topic on pteropods and their vulnerability to ocean acidification.
Yeah, so first a little bit about what we do here at Point Blue. Point Blue's mission is to advance the conservation of birds, other wildlife, and ecosystems through science, partnership, and outreach. So whether you aspire to be a marine scientist or are just someone who wants to learn a little bit more about our oceans, welcome back. We hope you leave here knowing a little bit more about the environment.
Yeah, and one of the cool things that me and Diana get to do as research assistants is to look at zooplankton samples collected from research cruises with a program called ACCESS. ACCESS stands for Applied California Current Ecosystem Studies and is a collaboration among Point Blue, the National Marine Sanctuaries, and several other organizations, agencies, and universities with the goal of the partnership to support marine wildlife conservation and healthy marine ecosystems in North to Central California. So in order to study zooplankton, scientists released nets on the ACCESS cruises, which you can see here below, that capture zooplankton and bottle them up in these bottles right here. And these bottles come back to right here in the lab where me and Diana can process them.
Yeah, so in our last mini deep dive, we talked about pyrosomes, which are known as the pickles of the sea, but today we're actually going to be talking about the potato chips of the sea, which are also known as pteropods.
Very cool. And we just wanted to add real quick that if you have any questions, go ahead and send them in, and we'll try our very best to answer them as we go along. But if we don't get to them right away, we will have some time at the end reserved to answer any additional questions. So, pteropods are a type of zooplankton, and they're very small pelagic free-swimming snails and sea slugs that are less than a centimeter long. And there are a variety of pteropods in the ocean, some with shells that you can see. There's one with a shell in the middle of this picture, and some without shells you can see in the lower left and right hand corners.
Yeah, so we have some pteropods that we pulled aside from our samples today that we're going to show you. So just please be patient while we transfer the camera to the microscope so we can take a look at what we have here today. Sorry. Please be patient. So try to figure this out here. If you're just tuning in, this is Diana and Joycelyn from the Marine Lab here at Point Blue. We're going to talk to you about pteropods.
Right now,
And we're trying
you guys are looking at pteropods under the microscope.
Okay, yes.
Pteropods, as Diana mentioned, are the potato chips of the sea. Very cute nickname.
Okay, so let's zoom in. But you might notice that the pictures that we were showing you earlier that Joycelyn was talking about look a little bit different than these here. Sorry. Hold on. Still trying to adjust a little. They kind of just look like little snail shells. That's because when pteropods are collected with a net, they retract their bodies back into their tiny shells. And so this is why you can't see the bodies outside of the shells here, like in the picture. Their shells are also extremely fragile, so some of them are a little broken. And because we bottle them up in solution, oftentimes the body, the soft body parts will shrivel, leaving behind just empty shells, which, as you can imagine, might make it harder for scientists to identify them to species with just the shells. And so this will poke around a little bit here. We usually see some of those like smaller pteropods that look like the little classic little snail shells, but Joycelyn actually found this really cool one in the middle that we think is a pteropod, but honestly we're not entirely sure. But it has like spirals. It's like, maybe zoom, maybe focus it. Okay, maybe I won't do that. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's like corkscrew, kind of. So that was really cool. We've never seen that before.
And fun facts, the name pteropod comes from ptera, meaning wing, and pod, meaning foot. So pteropod means wing foot. Now, when you think of a snail or a slug, you probably picture them crawling on rocks along the seafloor. But as we mentioned, pteropods are pelagic, so they don't crawl about the seafloor. Instead, they swim freely through the water column, using their wing-like feet to propel themselves through the top 10 meters of the ocean. And because of the swimming style, they're often called sea butterflies and sea angels. And in this video, you can see why.
Let me pull up the video. So this is how they swim with their little wings. As Joycelyn said, is why they get their name, sea butterfly. I think they're very cute.
You can sort of see they flap their foot around or their wings to propel themselves.
Yeah, so again, they're pelagic, so they swim through the ocean freely. But yeah, again, pteropods are very, very small. Again, less than a centimeter long. Stop showing this. But they're also very, very important. So we mentioned that pteropods are often called sea butterflies and sea angels, but did you also know that they're referred to as the potato chips of the sea? They're called potato chips of the sea because of their abundance and importance as food resources for many marine animals, from zooplankton to fish to birds to even whales. They're found all over the world, but they're most abundant in the Arctic and Antarctic seas, where they form these huge swarms.
So what do pteropods eat? Well, many pteropods feed on nutrient-rich plankton, making them very nutritious for other animals. In fact, some unshelled pteropods actually prey on the shelled pteropods by pulling them out of their shells with a set of suckers. You can see in this photo a little shelled pteropod being preyed upon by an unshelled pteropod. Very cool. Other pteropods, like the ones that do have shells, create a mucus web to filter feed in the water. And this mucus web is actually produced by the wings. And when the webs are deployed, the pteropods sit motionless in the water and wait for particles to stick to the web. The pteropods then eat the entire mucus web. Delicious. And their reproduction methods aren't well studied, but what we do know is that pteropods are protandrous. And protandrous means that the pteropods start off as males, and then once they reach a certain size and they're big enough, they actually switch over to females.
Yeah, so these animals, again, are major food sources for many marine organisms, but scientists are actually finding out that pteropods are being threatened by ocean acidification. Ocean acidification is a change in seawater chemistry due to extra carbon dioxide in the atmosphere being absorbed into the ocean. So why is this ocean chemistry so harmful to these pteropods? Well, pteropods have very thin shells made of this special material called calcium carbonate, and their shells are highly sensitive to chemical changes in seawater. So I have a picture showing a healthy pteropod on top and one that's been exposed to acidic conditions on the bottom. And so these acidic conditions are causing the thin calcium carbonate shells to deteriorate, and the minerals they need to grow their shells are less available in this acidic seawater. So a constantly deteriorating shell means that these pteropods have to spend more energy towards maintaining their shell and less energy towards growing and reproducing, for example. And we have a video of how it also affects their mobility. On the left, we have a healthy pteropod, and on the right, we have one that's been exposed to elevated carbon dioxide conditions. You can see how it struggles to swim.
So one study predicts that as early as 2050, pteropods may be unable to form their shells because of ocean acidification. Now this acts as a stressor to pteropods and could threaten their populations. So remember, pteropods are an important food source for a variety of marine organisms. And here in this food web, you can see how everything is connected very intricately, and pteropods almost are kind of eaten by a lot of different prey items. So OA, or ocean acidification, could decrease the abundance of pteropods in the ocean, which means less food to go around for all the organisms who depend on pteropods for food. This does not only affect marine organisms, but also millions of people around the world who depend on the ocean to feed themselves and their families. For example, pteropods make up 45% of the diet of juvenile salmon, salmon being a critical food source for many people and animals. So if there are less pteropods in the ocean, that means there's less food for the salmon and less salmon to capture and eat. So we need pteropods too.
However, pteropods, unfortunately, are not the only organisms affected by ocean acidification. Many other organisms with calcium carbonate shells are also seeing their shells degrade in increasing acidic seawater, such as corals, clams, lobsters, and oysters. But ocean acidification affects all organisms, even non-shelled animals like fish, brittle stars, sea stars, squid, and killer whales. For example, ocean acidification has been found to affect the ability to smell in fish, such as salmon and clownfish, which is a sense that's very important for detecting prey and predators. Fortunately, many scientists are committed to further understand the effects of ocean acidification on pteropods and the entire marine ecosystem in general. So a better understanding of ocean acidification means that there are better solutions for the organisms that live there. So we'll let you look at the pteropods a little more before we switch back to us. These are very small.
Yeah, they're probably about maybe 2 or 3 millimeters in length. So they are tiny little guys.
Yeah, and you can see there are some that are smaller than others. And again, super fragile. It was kind of hard to handle them because like, the shells are really thin. Okay, we're gonna flip it back over to us. So again, please be patient while we transition over. Okay. Yes, very small pteropods.
So, how can we help? Well, ocean acidification is a global issue. And remember how we talked about how ocean acidification is fueled by excess carbon dioxide in the atmosphere being absorbed by the ocean. This excess carbon dioxide is a result of unsustainable human activity. So what we need to do is decrease our carbon footprint. While long-term solutions do need to be made on a global scale, there are many simple and small steps we can do to reduce our carbon footprint in our day-to-day lives. Some ideas include only buying what you need, trying to waste less food, trying to walk, bike, carpool when we can, recycling, and also recycling properly.
Yeah, you can also help in other ways by voting for policies that help protect the environment and also supporting environmental conservation organizations like us here at Point Blue. We do want to acknowledge, however, that how we reduce our carbon footprint will look different for everyone, so just please try your best to find accessible methods that work for you, your family, and your lifestyle. But what we can all do is raise awareness about talking more about this issue and continuing to educate ourselves and others on the topic.
And we are coming to an end to our Pteropod episode. Thank you so much to everyone who dropped in to visit us and the Pteropods today. And we hope you learned something new, had fun, and were inspired by what you saw.
If you want to get more involved with what we do here at Point Blue, please make sure to visit our website, pointblue.org, and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Also, stay tuned for future Live from the Labs with Joycelyn and me. And if you joined late or would just like to revisit or reshare the video, this will be posted on the Point Blue Instagram. So if you have any other questions or comments, we'll try to answer them now, but if not, thank you, and we'll talk to you soon. Yes. So yes, people are saying pteropods are small and important. They really are. And yes, please vote for policies that help the environment. Thank you for all the hearts.
Thank you for all the hearts.
Let's see other questions. Okay. Well, you can always comment your questions on the post where this video will be, and we'll try to answer it then. But thank you so much for joining, everyone.
Yeah, thanks
we'll
for
talk
joining.
to you soon. Thanks. Have a great day.
Bye, guys.
Bye.